My beloved child, listen carefully, because this is not a random moment and this is not an ordinary message. Something has shifted in the spiritual realm, and January 10th has been marked in heaven with your name written clearly upon it. Very few people are hearing this right now, and even fewer will understand the weight of what is being revealed. But you were guided here for a reason. What you are about to hear is urgent, sacred, and time-sensitive. Right now, in the courts of heaven, a file hath been unlocked. This file was sealed for a long time, protected by divine authority, waiting for the exact moment when your faith, your endurance, and your tears aligned with God's perfect timing. That moment is now. This file contains your next blessing, and it directly addresses the financial turmoil you have been walking through in silence. The sleepless nights, the mental calculations, the prayers whispered when no one else could hear. Heaven has not ignored any of it. Archangel Michael is standing at attention in this hour. He is not passive. He is not distant. He is urgent. He is pleading for you to pay attention because what is open right now will not remain open forever. This is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. Some doors in the spirit open quietly and close quickly. Those who hesitate miss what was meant to change everything. You may have felt lately like pressure has been increasing from all sides. Bills stacking up. Delays that made no sense. It felt like every time relief was close, something else pulled it away. That was not punishment. That was preparation. God allowed the shaking so you would recognize the sound of this moment when it arrived. January 10th is not just a date. It is a divine checkpoint. Hear this clearly. Your financial struggle has been reviewed in heaven. Not as a failure, not as a weakness, but as a testimony in progress. God has seen how you kept going when logic told you to quit. He saw how you gave when you barely had enough. He saw how you refused to become bitter, even when help did not come from where you expected it. And because of that, a record has been opened in your favor. Archangel Michael is connected to battles, protection, and divine justice. When he appears in moments like this, it is because something has been contested over your life. There hath been resistance. There had been opposition. But the ruling has shifted. The opposition had been silenced. And now the blessing that was delayed is being released with authority. Do not misunderstand this moment. This is not about reckless spending or sudden riches without wisdom. This is about restoration, stability, and divine provision. God is addressing the root of your financial turmoil, not just the surface symptoms. What is coming is meant to realign you, not just relieve you. It will bring clarity where there was confusion and peace where there was constant anxiety. You might be thinking, why now? Why January 10th? Because this is the moment your obedience outweighed the resistance. This is the moment your prayers reached a tipping point. Heaven responds when faith remains steady under pressure, and you have been more faithful than you realize. There is also a warning woven into this message, and it comes with love. When the file is open, you must engage with faith, not fear. Doubt is the fastest way to walk past a miracle without recognizing it. Distractions will try to pull your attention away. Voices will tell you nothing is changing. But that is not the truth. Something has already shifted, even if your bank account has not reflected it yet. Be alert to divine instructions. A conversation, an idea, an opportunity that feels small but carries weight. God often delivers financial breakthroughs through simple obedience, not dramatic gestures. What seems ordinary may be the key that unlocks what heaven has already approved. Archangel Michael is urging you not to delay, not to overthink, and not to dismiss this message as coincidence. You did not arrive here by accident. This is a divine interruption. Heaven is speaking softly but firmly, asking you to open your heart, align your faith, and prepare to receive what is already assigned to you. January 10th is a threshold. What you do with this awareness matters. Stay spiritually awake. Guard your thoughts. Speak life over your situation. Refuse to partner with fear. The file is open, the blessing is ready, and the timing is precise. This is only the beginning of what is being revealed. What comes next will explain how to position yourself so nothing meant for you is lost or delayed again. My chosen one, as this message continues, I need you to slow your thoughts and open your spirit, because what is unfolding now requires awareness, not anxiety. The reason heaven revealed the unlocked file is because God is preparing you for the movement that follows. A blessing without understanding can be mishandled, and God is too intentional to release something sacred without first aligning your heart and mind. There has been a silent test running in the background of your life. It was not about money alone. It was about trust. Every delay, every closed door, every moment you had to stretch what little you had was shaping your discernment. God was teaching you how to recognize His hand even when provision did not arrive the way you expected. That is why this next phase will feel different. You will sense clarity instead of chaos. You will feel peace even before the numbers change. Right now, Archangel Michael is not only standing guard, he is enforcing boundaries. Some drains on your finances were not random. Certain patterns, habits, and even relationships were quietly leaking what God intended to multiply. Heaven has now placed a divine restriction around your resources. This means discernment will sharpen. You will suddenly feel uncomfortable with choices that once felt normal. That discomfort is protection. You may notice that people who once had easy access to you now feel distant. Conversations may change. Requests may stop. This is not isolation. This is insulation. God is preserving what is about to flow into your hands. The blessing in the open file is not meant to be consumed by old cycles. It is meant to establish something new and lasting. Listen carefully to this truth. Financial breakthrough does not always arrive as a lump sum. Sometimes it comes in direction, sometimes as strategy, sometimes as favor that opens doors no amount of effort could force open. What matters is obedience when the instruction arrives. The enemy's greatest tactic right now is distraction, because distraction delays obedience. This is why you must remain spiritually alert in these days. Pay attention to repeated thoughts that carry peace, not fear. Notice opportunities that align with your values instead of draining your energy. God is guiding you step by step, and each step is connected to the unlocked file in heaven. I need to speak directly to your heart now. Do not minimize yourself. Do not talk down your calling. Do not say, "This is too small," or "I am not ready." Readiness is not about perfection. It is about willingness. God qualifies those who say yes, not those who feel confident. As this message reaches people around the world, understand that you are part of a larger movement. When you engage with this word, you are aligning with a divine flow that is touching others who are also believing for restoration. That is why it is important not to keep this to yourself. When you like this message, when you share it, when you comment and testify, you are not just supporting a video. You are helping faith rise in someone who is on the edge of giving up. If this message is speaking to you, take a moment to show your agreement. Like this video is an act of faith. Share it with someone who is silently struggling. Comment so others can see they are not alone. And if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe now so you stay connected to what God is releasing in this season. This channel is not about noise. It is about alignment. Your participation matters more than you realize. There is also a reason you are hearing this before January 10th fully unfolds. God often gives advance notice to those He trusts. This is your moment to prepare your mindset. Release resentment. Forgive where bitterness tried to settle. Clear space emotionally so you can carry what is coming without strain. You may feel a gentle urgency rising within you. That is not pressure, that is prompting. Heaven is inviting you to lean in, not rush ahead. Stay prayerful. Stay grounded. Speak gratitude even before you see evidence. Gratitude accelerates manifestation because it aligns you with heaven's frequency. Archangel Michael is still watching closely. The window is open, but alignment keeps it open. Faith keeps it accessible. Obedience keeps it flowing. What you do in these moments matters more than what you have done in the past. Hold on, because what is about to be revealed next will connect the spiritual movement you cannot see with the physical breakthrough you have been waiting for. Beloved one, there is a deeper layer unfolding now, and it is vital that you receive this with spiritual maturity. What is happening around January 10th is not only about provision, it is about alignment with heaven's authority. When God unlocks a file, He also releases instructions that protect what He is releasing. Many people lose blessings not because God withdraws them, but because they step out of alignment after receiving them. Right now, Archangel Michael is standing in a posture of defense and confirmation. Defense, because what is coming to you has been contested. Confirmation, because heaven has ruled in your favor. This is why you may feel a sudden shift in your inner world. Old fears are losing their grip. Old worries feel weaker. Even though circumstances may not have fully changed yet, something inside you already has. That internal shift is proof that the blessing is real. There is something important you must understand about financial turmoil. It is not always about lack. Often, it is about warfare over purpose. The enemy does not fight empty destiny. He fights futures that will impact others. Your breakthrough is not meant to stop with you. It will flow through you. That is why resistance was intense, and that is why heaven is now responding with authority. God has seen how close you were to giving up. He saw the moments when you questioned your worth, your decisions, and even your prayers. But He also saw that you kept going. You kept believing, even when belief felt heavy. That perseverance has been recorded. Heaven does not forget endurance. As this file remains open, there is a call for you to partner with God consciously. This means being careful with your words. Speak life, not frustration. Speak expectancy, not exhaustion. The spiritual realm responds to alignment, and your words are a powerful form of agreement. You may notice in these days that opportunities arise that require courage. They may not look perfect. They may stretch you, but they will carry peace, not panic. Learn to trust peace more than logic. Logic is limited to what you can see. Peace is connected to what God already knows. Archangel Michael is also urging you to cut agreement with shame. Shame over past financial mistakes. Shame over delays. Shame over asking for help. Shame does not come from God. It weakens confidence and blocks reception. Release it now. You are not behind. You are being positioned. This is also a moment of separation. Some cycles are ending. Some patterns are breaking. You may feel less tolerant of environments that drain you. This is not pride. This is discernment. God is refining your focus so you can steward what is coming well. Listen carefully. What God is releasing will not add sorrow. It will not enslave you. It will not confuse you. It will bring clarity, stability, and the ability to breathe again. That is how you will know it is from Him. January 10th is a marker, but the movement around it extends beyond a single day. This is a season of recalibration. Stay humble. Stay teachable. Stay connected. Heaven is watching how you carry this moment. Before this part closes, there is a spiritual activation that must be spoken. If this message is resonating with your spirit, do not stay silent. Type "I receive the open heaven" in the comments if this word is confirming what you have been sensing. Blessing code 909 has just been released. As this open file in heaven releases light into your life, understand that God is also inviting you to become a carrier of that light for others. When you support this work through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you are not funding a channel. You are sowing into souls that are crying out in silence. The Lord is saying, as you sow into my word, I will cause rivers to rise where there was drought. This is seed meeting destiny, or meeting fire. I feel led to tell you that your obedience in this moment will echo far beyond what you can see. Heaven honors swift response. Blessing will chase those who give with faith, and increase will find those who partner with this mission. Obey now. The links are waiting in the description. My dear one, as this message deepens, there is something very important that must be addressed with clarity and calm authority. When heaven opens a file, it does not only release blessings, it also exposes what must no longer follow you into the next season. This is why some things have begun to feel heavy lately, even things that once felt familiar. God is gently, but firmly separating you from weights you were never meant to carry this far. Right now, there is a recalibration happening in your spiritual atmosphere. It may not look dramatic on the outside, but internally, your discernment is sharpening. You are beginning to sense when something is not aligned, even if you cannot fully explain why. This is not confusion. This is maturity. God is teaching you to trust the inner witness He placed within you. Archangel Michael's role in this season is deeply connected to protection and enforcement. He is not only guarding what is coming to you, he is also standing between you and what would attempt to interfere. There have been unseen battles around timing, around confidence, and around your ability to receive without guilt. Those battles are being resolved now. You must understand this clearly. Guilt has no authority over your future. Many people struggle financially not because they are unworthy, but because they subconsciously believe they do not deserve ease, rest, or overflow. That belief is being dismantled. God does not bless to prove a point. He blesses because He is good, and because His plans require provision. There is also a shift happening in how you see responsibility. In the past, responsibility felt like pressure. It felt like everything depended on you, and that weight was exhausting. But God is changing your perspective. Responsibility in this new season will feel supported, not suffocating. You will sense divine partnership instead of isolation. Pay attention to how your prayers are changing. You may notice you are no longer begging, but asking with quiet confidence. That is growth. That is alignment. Heaven responds differently when prayer shifts from desperation to trust. God is not moved by panic. He is moved by faith. You may also notice that old fears are trying one last time to get your attention. Thoughts like, what if this doesn't work? Or what if I mess it up? These are not warnings, they are echoes. Echoes of a season that is ending. Do not entertain them. Fear loses power when it is not given agreement. This is also a moment to be mindful of your environment. What you listen to, what you watch, and who you allow to speak into your life matters more than ever. Alignment is delicate in transition seasons. Protect your peace. Peace is not weakness. Peace is confirmation. God is teaching you to move differently, to pause before reacting, to listen before deciding, to rest without guilt. These are signs of preparation, not delay. The blessing connected to the open file requires stewardship, and stewardship begins with self-awareness. Archangel Michael is still present, still alert. His presence indicates that what you are stepping into will require courage, but not fear. Courage does not mean you are not afraid. It means you move forward trusting that heaven is backing you. There is also a quiet invitation being extended to you right now. Let go of comparison. Comparison distorts timing. Someone else's breakthrough is not evidence of your delay. It is proof that God is moving. Stay in your lane. Your path is custom designed. As January 10th draws closer, you may feel a mix of anticipation and calm. That is healthy. That is balance. God does not rush his children, and he does not leave them uninformed. You are being guided step by step, moment by moment. Remember this: alignment keeps doors open. Gratitude keeps them flowing. Obedience keeps them protected. You are not walking into this alone. Heaven is involved. Angels are assigned. Provision is prepared. Stay attentive, because what is coming next will reveal how to recognize divine timing so you do not miss what God places directly in front of you. My beloved one, there is a sacred clarity settling over this moment, and it is important that you understand what clarity truly means in the language of heaven. Clarity is not the absence of questions. It is the presence of trust even when not every detail is visible. God is teaching you to move with confidence without needing to see the entire map. This is a higher level of faith, and you are stepping into it now. As the open file in heaven continues to release its influence, you may notice that your reactions are changing. Situations that once triggered panic now invite prayer. Challenges that once felt overwhelming now feel manageable. This is not because the challenges are smaller, but because your spiritual capacity has expanded. Growth often reveals itself through calm, not excitement. Archangel Michael remains active in this season, and his presence signals something very specific. He is assigned not only to protect, but to bring order where there was chaos. Financial turmoil often creates mental clutter. It causes scattered thinking and rushed decisions. Heaven is restoring order to your thoughts so your actions can align with wisdom. There is a lesson God is gently reinforcing right now. Urgency does not mean haste. The world rushes. Heaven moves with precision. You are being trained to recognize the difference. When an opportunity comes from God, it will not pressure you into fear-based decisions. It will invite you into peace-filled obedience. Learn to distinguish between the two. You may also notice that some doors are closing without drama. No argument. No explanation. Just a quiet ending. This is not loss. This is refinement. God is removing distractions that would compete with what he is building. What leaves now makes room for what is meant to stay. There is also a shift in how you value your time. You may feel less willing to waste energy on things that do not produce life. This is a sign of alignment. Time is one of the most valuable currencies in the kingdom, and God is teaching you to steward it well before releasing greater responsibility. Listen closely to this truth. Provision follows purpose. When your actions align with your assignment, resources follow naturally. This is why God has been working on your inner world first. External overflow without internal alignment creates imbalance. Heaven's order is intentional. You might find yourself revisiting old ideas or dreams that you once set aside. Not with frustration, but with new perspective. God often revives what was paused when the timing was not right. What you could not sustain before, you may now be ready to carry with grace. This season also invites honesty, honest prayer, honest reflection, honest expectation. God is not offended by your questions. He is inviting you to bring them to Him instead of carrying them alone. When you release your concerns in prayer, you make space for direction. Archangel Michael's presence also indicates that spiritual authority is being restored. Authority does not mean control over others. It means confidence in your God-given position. You are learning to stand firm without aggression, to speak truth without fear, and to trust God without apology. There may be moments when the past tries to remind you of previous disappointments. Do not engage. Those memories no longer define your future. They were lessons, not limitations. God wastes nothing. Even what hurt you have been repurposed to strengthen you. As you continue forward, be mindful of gratitude. Gratitude is not denial of struggle, it is recognition of God's involvement. Thank Him for what is unfolding, even before you see it clearly. Gratitude keeps your heart open and your spirit receptive. This is also a season to listen more than you speak. Wisdom often comes quietly. Pay attention to gentle nudges, repeated thoughts that carry peace, and confirmations that arrive unexpectedly. God is communicating more than you realize. The financial breakthrough you are approaching is connected to sustainability, not stress. God is not leading you into another cycle of exhaustion. He is leading you into balance. Where there was survival, there will be stability. Where there was anxiety, there will be assurance. Stay present. Stay grounded. Stay prayerful. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. Heaven's timing is unfolding with precision, and you are exactly where you need to be. What is coming next will reveal how to remain steady when the blessing begins to manifest, so that what God releases continues to grow rather than fade. My precious one, as this message continues to unfold, there is a deeper strengthening happening within you, even if you cannot fully name it yet. God is not only preparing your circumstances, He is fortifying your spirit. This is crucial, because what is coming requires endurance paired with wisdom. Breakthrough without stability can become overwhelming, and God is committed to your wholeness, not just your relief. You may have noticed recently that your tolerance for confusion has decreased. You are less willing to sit in uncertainty without seeking clarity. This is not impatience. This is alignment. Heaven is sharpening your ability to recognize what deserves your attention and what does not. Financial turmoil often thrives in fog, but clarity dismantles confusion. God is lifting the fog. Archangel Michael remains active in this phase, and his presence signifies reinforcement. Reinforcement means that what God has declared will not be easily shaken. There have been attempts to discourage you through subtle means. A comment, a delay, a reminder of past failures. These were not random. They were meant to test whether you would retreat or remain steady. You remained steady, even when it was difficult. There is also a lesson unfolding about patience. Patience is not passive waiting, it is active trust. You are learning to trust God's pace without trying to control the outcome. Control exhausts the soul. Trust restores it. This shift is freeing you in ways you are only beginning to feel. Pay close attention to how your inner dialogue is changing. Where you once criticized yourself, you may now find yourself extending grace. Where you once assumed the worst, you may now pause and pray. This is evidence of healing. God often heals the heart while preparing the hands. Financial restoration is closely tied to emotional restoration. Money carries emotion. Fear, hope, prayer will leave. God is healing your relationship with provision so that it no longer controls your peace. When peace leads, provision follows with less resistance. You may also notice that your priorities are being rearranged. What once felt urgent may now feel optional. What once felt optional may now feel essential. This is divine realignment. God is teaching you to invest energy where it produces life, not just activity. Archangel Michael's involvement also points to boundaries. Boundaries with your time. Boundaries with your generosity. Boundaries with your focus. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. They allow the right things in and keep draining forces out. God is helping you install these gates with wisdom, not fear. Here is something important you must remember in this season. Consistency matters more than intensity. You do not need dramatic gestures to please God. You need daily alignment. Small acts of obedience compound into lasting breakthrough. Heaven honors faithfulness in quiet places. If this message is strengthening you, do not underestimate the power of agreement. When you engage, you amplify what God is doing. Take a moment to like this video as a declaration that you receive this word. Share it with someone who needs reassurance right now. Leave a comment so others can see they are not alone in this season. And if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe and stay connected, because these messages are released for moments like this. Your participation is part of the movement God is building. There is a reason you are still here, listening. Something ahead requires context, and God is providing it step by step. Many people walk away just before understanding arrives. You are being invited to stay present, to listen fully, and to allow this word to settle deeply. You may feel moments of anticipation mixed with calm. That balance is intentional. God does not want you restless, but He does want you ready. Readiness looks like peace with expectation, not anxiety with urgency. Be mindful of how you respond to minor setbacks right now. They are not signs of delay. They are opportunities to practice trust. Every time you choose faith over frustration, you strengthen spiritual muscle. That strength will serve you well when the blessing manifests. Archangel Michael is still guarding the process. Nothing meant for you will be intercepted. Nothing approved in heaven will be stolen on earth. Your responsibility is alignment, not protection. Heaven is handling the protection. Hold on, because what is coming next will reveal how to recognize when the breakthrough begins to move from the spiritual realm into visible reality, and you will want to be fully aware when that moment arrives. My beloved one, there is a sacred steadiness settling over this season, and it is important that you recognize it for what it is. This calm you are beginning to feel is not stagnation, and it is not delay. It is stabilization. God often stabilizes His children just before acceleration, because anything that moves fast without balance can collapse under its own weight. Heaven is ensuring that when movement comes, you will not be shaken by it. You are being taught how to stand without straying. In the past, standing required effort, vigilance, and constant emotional energy. Now, standing feels quieter, stronger, rooted. This is because your foundation is being reinforced. Financial turmoil shakes foundations, but restoration rebuilds them with wisdom. God is not restoring you to your old normal. He is establishing a new standard. Archangel Michael remains present in a different posture now. Less confrontation, more command. This indicates that authority has been secured. When authority is secured, battles no longer need to be loud. Resistance weakens when heaven's order is established. You are stepping into a place where decisions carry weight, and your yes and no matter more than they used to. You may notice that you are less reactive. Situations that once provoked immediate emotion now invite reflection. This is not detachment. It is discernment. Discernment allows you to see beneath the surface and respond with intention rather than impulse. This shift will protect you financially, emotionally, and spiritually. There is also a refining happening in your expectations. God is aligning your hope with truth, not fantasy. What He is preparing to release will meet real needs, create real stability, and produce real peace. It may not look like what you once imagined, but it will feel right in your spirit. God's blessings fit. They do not suffocate. Be aware that as stability increases, distractions often try to re-enter quietly, not as chaos but as familiarity. Old habits, old thought patterns, old compromises. These are not necessarily sinful, but they are misaligned. God is inviting you to choose intentional living over comfortable repetition. You are also learning the value of restraint. Restraint is often misunderstood as lack, but in the kingdom, restraint is strength. And knowing when to wait, when to pause, and when to move is a mark of maturity. God is training your timing. Timing protects provision. Archangel Michael's continued presence also signals that your progress is being monitored, not judged. Heaven is attentive, not critical. God is not looking for reasons to withhold. He is watching for opportunities to entrust. Entrustment follows faithfulness. There may be moments when you feel a gentle nudge to simplify. Simplify commitments. Simplify routines. Simplify expectations. This is not regression. This is refinement. Complexity often hides inefficiency. God is streamlining your life so energy flows where it matters most. Financial restoration is approaching in layers. Not everything will change at once, but each layer will support the next. Think of it as structure, not surprise. God is building something that lasts, not something that dazzles and disappears. Sustainability is a form of blessing. You may also sense an increase in responsibility without an increase in pressure. This is divine balance. Responsibility without pressure is a sign that grace is carrying the weight. You are not meant to carry this alone, and you are not expected to figure everything out in advance. Pay attention to your dreams and quiet moments. God often speaks when the noise fades. Insight may come unexpectedly, not as a command, but as clarity. Trust that clarity. Write it down if needed. Honor it with prayer. There is also an invitation in this season to redefine success. Success is not constant growth without rest. Success is alignment with God's rhythm. Work and rest. Giving and receiving. Planning and trusting. This balance will guard your peace as provision increases. You are not being rushed into the next phase. You are being guided. Guidance feels different. It is gentle but firm. Clear but patient. God knows exactly where you are and exactly where He is taking you. Archangel Michael stands as witness to this transition. The season of constant defense is ending. The season of wise advancement is beginning. Advancement does not shout. It moves steadily, confidently, and with purpose. Remain open. Remain grounded. Remain faithful in small things. What you are stepping into will not require you to become someone else. It will require you to be fully present as who God has already shaped you to be. What is coming next will reveal how to steward increase without fear, so that what God places in your hands becomes a source of freedom, not pressure. My beloved child, there is a holy awareness rising within you now, and it is not accidental. You are becoming conscious of weight, not in a burdensome way, but in a meaningful one. This is the weight of stewardship. God does not release increase without first teaching his children how to carry it without fear, pride, or anxiety. What you are sensing right now is preparation at a deeper level. You are entering a phase where discernment becomes your greatest protection. Not every opportunity is meant to be accepted. Not every open door is yours to walk through. God is teaching you that wisdom is knowing what to say no to, even when you have the capacity to say yes. This discernment will safeguard your finances and your peace. Archangel Michael is present again, but now his role is strongly connected to authority and order. Order brings stability. Stability sustains blessing. Chaos drains it. Heaven is bringing order to your decisions, your timing, and your priorities so that increase does not overwhelm you. You are not being rushed into overflow. You are being established in it. You may notice that your confidence feels quieter than before. It does not need validation. It does not need to announce itself. Quiet confidence is a sign that you are rooted, not striving. God is removing the need to prove yourself, because provision does not come from performance. It comes from alignment. There is also a shift happening in how you view money itself. Fear around it is loosening. Obsession with it is fading. Respect for it is increasing. This balance is crucial. Money is a tool, not a master. God is restoring your authority over it, so it no longer dictates your emotions or decisions. Be aware that increase often attracts attention. Some attention will be positive. Some will be curious. Some will be draining. This is where boundaries matter. Boundaries are not rejection. They are wisdom. You are allowed to protect what God entrusts to you without explanation or guilt. Archangel Michael's presence signals that your authority is being recognized in the spiritual realm. Authority is not loud. It is felt. It changes atmospheres. You may notice people responding differently to you, even without knowing why. This is not about ego. This is about alignment with heaven's order. There may also be moments when you are tempted to rush ahead, to secure everything at once, to lock in certainty. Resist that urge. God is teaching you to trust daily provision, not hoarded security. Security rooted in fear becomes a prison. Security rooted in trust becomes freedom. You are also learning that rest is not laziness. Rest is obedience. God commanded rest because rest restores perspective. When you rest, you acknowledge that the source of your provision is not your effort alone. This humility keeps your heart aligned and your hands open. As this season continues, stay mindful of gratitude. Gratitude keeps the increase flowing. Complaining constricts it. Gratitude does not ignore challenges. It acknowledges God's presence within them. Speak gratitude out loud. Let it shape your atmosphere. Now hear this clearly, because this moment carries activation. If this message is resonating deeply with you, do not let it pass quietly. Type "I am a faithful steward" in the comments if this word aligns with your spirit. Blessing code 1440 is now activated over your life. As God teaches you how to steward increase, He's also inviting you to help carry this light to others who are still in darkness. When you give through super thanks, membership, or PayPal, you are sowing seed into fertile ground where God's word is transforming lives. The Lord is saying, "What you place in my hands, I will multiply beyond your expectation." This is oil poured into lamps that must not go out. I feel led to tell you that your obedience here opens channels of provision and peace over your household. Heaven responds to action taken in faith, not hesitation. Give now. The PayPal link and support options are waiting in the description. Remain attentive, because what comes next will show you how to walk confidently as provision begins to show itself in tangible ways, without losing your peace or your focus. My beloved one, as this journey continues, there is a quiet but powerful transition taking place within you. You are moving from preparation into expression. Preparation shapes the inside. The expression reveals what had been formed. God does not rush this shift, because expression without grounding can attract pressure before you are ready. But now, grounding has been established. You may begin to notice small, tangible signs that things are changing. A door opens with less resistance. A conversation shifts in your favor. An idea lands with clarity instead of confusion. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. God often releases evidence in pieces, allowing faith to grow with each step. Archangel Michael's involvement at this stage is subtle but strategic. His presence signals continuity. What God starts, he sustains. There will be no sudden withdrawal of support, no bait and switch. The same authority that opened the file is overseeing its release. You are not navigating this alone. There is also an adjustment happening in how you handle responsibility. Where responsibility once felt like pressure, it now feels purposeful. Purpose absorbs pressure. When you understand why something matters, the weight becomes meaningful instead of overwhelming. God is aligning your understanding with your assignment. Pay attention to your reactions to success, even small success. Do you rush to secure it, or do you pause to thank God? Do you fear losing it, or do you trust God to sustain it? These reactions reveal where healing has taken root. Fear-driven reactions belong to old seasons. Trust-driven responses belong to the new. You are also learning the value of pacing. God is teaching you to move neither too fast nor too slow, but in rhythm with His guidance. Pacing protects energy, focus, and clarity. This rhythm will be essential as provision increases, because speed without rhythm leads to burnout. There may be moments when you feel tempted to explain yourself, to justify your decisions, or to seek approval. Resist that urge. God is anchoring you in internal validation rather than external affirmation. When you are secure in His guidance, you do not need constant confirmation from others. Archangel Michael's presence also highlights the importance of integrity. Integrity is alignment between belief and action. God is strengthening your integrity so that what you carry does not contradict who you are. Integrity preserves blessing. It allows increase to remain without corruption. You may notice that certain desires are changing, not disappearing but maturing. What once appealed to impulse may now feel empty. What once seemed boring may now feel nourishing. This shift is not loss of passion. It is refinement of appetite. God is training your desires to match your destiny. This is also a season where discernment becomes proactive rather than reactive. You are learning to sense misalignment before it creates damage. This is a gift. Honor it. Discernment will save you time, resources, and emotional energy. Financial restoration is approaching in a way that strengthens your sense of agency. You are not meant to feel dependent or powerless. God's provision empowers rather than entangles. It gives you options, not obligations. This empowerment will feel like relief, not pressure. Be mindful of your inner narrative. Speak to yourself with kindness and truth. The words you use internally shape your expectations externally. Replace self-criticism with self-awareness. Awareness leads to growth without shame. You may also feel drawn to revisit commitments or promises you made to God during difficult seasons. This is not about earning blessing. It is about honoring relationship. God remembers vows made in tears. Revisiting them with gratitude brings closure and alignment. As you continue forward, remain teachable. Each ability keeps you flexible. Flexibility allows God to adjust direction without resistance. Resistance often comes from fear of losing control. But control was never meant to be yours alone. Partnership was. Archangel Michael remains a steady presence, ensuring that progress continues without unnecessary conflict. You are not returning to cycles of struggle. You are moving forward into structure and sustainability. Stay attentive to peace. Peace is your compass. When peace is present, you are aligned. When peace is absent, pause and seek clarity. God speaks through peace more often than through urgency. What lies ahead will require confidence rooted in humility. Confidence says, I can move forward. Humility says, God is leading. Together, they create stability. What is coming next will reveal how to maintain momentum without strain, so that the blessing continues to grow and bless others through you. My beloved one, as this message moves forward, there is a strengthening of momentum that you must recognize and steward wisely. A bit of heaven is different from a minimum and I pattern. Pressure pushes, but momentum carries. What you are experiencing now is a carrying grace. Things are no longer requiring the same force they once did. Where there was resistance, there is now cooperation. Where there was confusion, there is now clarity. This is the stage where God teaches you how to maintain movement without losing balance. Many people know how to start, but few know how to continue without burning out. Heaven is instructing you in sustainability. Sustainability is the evidence that something is divinely supported. If God sustains it, it will not drain you. If it drains you consistently, it requires reevaluation. Archangel Michael remains attentive in this phase, not as a warrior in the foreground, but as a guardian of continuity. His presence indicates that what has begun is meant to progress. You are not circling the same mountain again. You are moving forward on a path that has been secured. This is why setbacks now feel smaller and less personal. They do not shake your identity. They simply invite adjustment. You may notice that decision-making feels clear. You are not second-guessing yourself as much. When uncertainty arises, you know how to pause instead of panic. This is a sign of maturity. God is training you to consult Him instinctively rather than react emotionally. This instinct will protect your finances and your peace. There is also an important shift in how you handle expectations. You are learning not to demand instant outcomes, but to honor consistent progress. God values growth over speed. Growth builds roots. Speed without roots leads to collapse. What is being built in your life now has roots. Financially, this season emphasizes flow rather than force. You are learning how to let provision move through you wisely. Flow requires openness, but also structure. God is helping you create healthy systems, both practically and spiritually, so that increase does not overwhelm you or disappear without impact. Archangel Michael's involvement also points to accountability. Not condemnation, but stewardship. Heaven is watching how you manage small increases, small opportunities, and small responsibilities. These are indicators of readiness. Faithfulness in small things unlocks trust with greater things. You may also sense a call to be more intentional with your words. Words shape atmosphere. Speak with purpose. Avoid unnecessary negativity. This is not about denial. It is about direction. Your words can either reinforce faith or reopen old wounds. Choose alignment. There may be moments when you are tempted to slow down too much out of fear of losing what you have gained. Do not retreat. Forward movement does not mean recklessness. It means trusting God to guide each step. Fear-based hesitation can stall momentum just as much as impatience can. This is also a season where community matters. Not large crowds, but aligned voices. God may highlight a few people whose presence brings clarity rather than confusion. Honor those connections. They are part of your support structure, not distractions. If this message is helping you stay grounded and encouraged, take a moment to engage. Like this video as a sign that you are in agreement with what God is doing. Share it so someone else can find stability instead of fear. Leave a comment so others know they are not walking this season alone. And if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe and stay connected, because these messages are released for moments exactly like this. Your engagement helps this word reach where it is needed most. You are closer now than you were before, not just to provision, but to understanding. Understanding changes how you receive. It allows you to handle blessing without anxiety and responsibility without pressure. There may be times when the pace feels slower than expected. Do not misinterpret this as delay. God often slows the pace to protect the outcome. Precision matters. Timing matters. Alignment matters. Archangel Michael continues to ensure that progress remains uninterrupted by unnecessary conflict. The season of constant defense is behind you. You are learning how to advance without fighting everything. Wisdom chooses battles carefully. Stay attentive to inner peace. Peace is your signal that you are moving correctly. When peace fades, pause and pray. God will recalibrate you gently, not harshly. Hold on, because what comes next will bring everything together in a way that feels both surprising and deeply familiar, and you will want to be fully present for it. My beloved one, there is a holy convergence happening now, a moment where preparation, patience, and promise begin to align. What once felt scattered is coming together. What once felt delayed is finding its place. This is not sudden. It is intentional. God does not rush fulfillment. He orchestrates it. And you are standing at the edge of understanding how carefully this journey has been designed. You may feel a sense of recognition stirring within you, as if something familiar is approaching, even though it looks new. That is because this season is not foreign to your spirit. It is connected to prayers you prayed long ago, prayers you may have forgotten, but heaven did not. God is faithful to remember what you entrusted to Him, even when time passed and circumstances change. Archangel Michael remains present, but his role now reflects assurance rather than urgency. Assurance means heaven is confident in the outcome. When assurance replaces urgency, striving fades. You no longer feel the need to force outcomes or prove readiness. You simply walk forward with trust. This is the posture of someone who knows God is leading. There is a subtle but powerful shift in how you see yourself. You are no longer defined by what you survived. You are being defined by what you are becoming. Survival shaped your resilience, but becoming reveals your purpose. God is moving you from a mindset of recovery into a mindset of responsibility. Not burdened responsibility, but empowered stewardship. Financially, you may begin to sense that solutions feel closer than before. Not because everything is resolved instantly, but because confusion is lifting. Clarity brings relief even before provision fully manifests. When you know what to do next, anxiety loses its grip. God often answers prayers by giving direction before giving results. You are also learning how to wait without tension. Waiting with tension drains energy. Waiting with trust restores it. This difference will matter greatly as the final pieces come into place. God is teaching you that waiting does not mean nothing is happening. It means something is being arranged beyond your view. There may be moments when you reflect on how far you have come and feel a quiet gratitude. Allow that gratitude to settle. Gratitude is not an ending, it is a bridge. It connects past faithfulness to future promise. When you honor what God has already done, you prepare your heart to receive what He is about to do. Archangel Michael's continued presence also indicates that spiritual alignment is being maintained. Alignment must be sustained, not assumed. You are doing this by staying humble, staying teachable, and staying aware. These qualities keep doors open long after they unlock. You may notice that your desires are becoming more refined. You want peace more than applause, stability more than excitement, purpose more than appearance. This is not settling. This is maturity. God is aligning your desires with outcomes that last, not moments that fade. There is also an invitation here to trust the process even when it feels quiet. Quiet does not mean absent. Quiet often means focus. Heaven is not noisy when it works. It is precise. Trust the precision. You might sense a growing confidence that is not rooted in circumstance. The confidence comes from knowing you are not alone in this. God is involved. Angels are assigned. Pavilion is prepared. This confidence will anchor you when emotions fluctuate. Be mindful not to romanticize struggle now that it is ending. Struggle taught you valuable lessons, but it is not meant to be your permanent language. God is allowing you to step into ease without guilt. Ease does not mean absence of effort. It means presence of grace. As you stand here, understand that what comes next is not just an outcome, but a transition. Transitions require awareness. Stay present. Stay prayerful. Stay open. Do not rush ahead mentally. Let each step unfold. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this nearing fulfillment. What was contested hath been resolved. What was delayed has been aligned. What was promised is approaching manifestation. Hold this moment with reverence, not fear. Expectation without anxiety is a powerful posture. You are not bracing for impact. You are welcoming fulfillment. What is about to be revealed will seal this journey with clarity and blessing, and it will call you into a new way of walking forward, one marked by trust, provision, and peace. My beloved child, this is the moment where everything settles into place, not with noise, not with chaos, but with divine certainty. What you have walked through was never random. Every delay, every test, every quiet season was shaping your capacity to receive without fear and to walk forward without confusion. Now, the season shifts from preparation into possession, and heaven wants you to understand what this truly means. Possession does not begin when money arrives. It begins when peace takes root. It begins when fear no longer has authority over your decisions. It begins when you trust God's provision more than your own calculations. And right now, peace is being sealed within you. That is the final confirmation that what was unlocked in heaven is ready to be sustained on earth. Archangel Michael stands in a posture of completion and covering. His role in this journey has been to guard, to enforce, and to ensure that nothing assigned to you is lost in transition. And now, his presence signals protection over what has been released. What God gives you in this season will not slip through your hands. It will be preserved with wisdom. You are stepping into a phase where provision no longer feels like survival, but partnership. God is not handing you something fragile. He is entrusting you with something stable. Stability is heaven's signature. It means what arrives is meant to remain, grow, and bless beyond you. There may still be moments of adjustment. New seasons always require learning. But learning will no longer feel threatening. It will feel empowering. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. And experience, when refined by faith, becomes wisdom. Look back for a moment, not with regret, but with recognition. See how much you endured. See how much you learned. See how much you grew when no one was applauding. That growth is why you are ready now. God does not promote based on desire alone. He promotes based on development. Financial peace is not just about numbers aligning. It is about your mind resting. It is about your heart trusting. It is about your future no longer feeling fragile. This is the peace God is releasing. A peace that allows you to plan without panic and to give without fear. Archangel Michael's assignment now is to stand guard over your next steps. You will not be rushed into mistakes. You will not be pulled back into old cycles. Discernment will remain sharp. Boundaries will remain strong. Wisdom will remain active. This is also a moment of responsibility, but not pressure. Responsibility here means stewardship with joy. It means managing what God gives you with gratitude rather than anxiety. Gratitude multiplies what fear tries to shrink. You are being invited into a new identity. Not someone waiting for breakthrough, but someone walking in provision. That identity shift matters. How you see yourself will determine how you handle what comes next. See yourself as trusted. See yourself as guided. See yourself as supported by heaven. As this message comes to a close, there is a final activation that must be released. This seals the journey and aligns you fully with what God has unlocked. Type "I walk in divine provision" in the comments if you receive this message with faith. Blessing code 2229 is now activated over your life. As this journey completes and provision begins to manifest, God is calling you to become a living answer to someone else's prayer. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you are planting seed into soil that carries life, light, and transformation. The Lord is saying, as you release what I have placed in your hands, I will keep heaven open over your house. This is not a donation. It is obedience meeting harvest. I declare that every giver will walk in peace, stability, and multiplied provision. Do not delay what God is prompting now. Act with faith. The PayPal link and support options are waiting in the description. My beloved child, this chapter closes not with an ending, but with a beginning. Walk forward with confidence. Heaven is with you. The file has been unlocked. The blessing is secured, and your season has changed.